I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're diving into Balanced Leadership, a pragmatic guide for leading by Leonard Heflich. Discover the essence of true leadership through a collection of dissertations that not only challenge your perceptions, but also equip you with the tools to improve your leadership skills. In a world crying out for effective leadership, the author offers insights into finding balance amidst the ever-changing dynamics of leading. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank our team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his important book. The links are below this interview. Leonard, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Thank you, Logan, for having me.
Tell us a little bit about the motivation to write about balanced leadership.
Oh, I started this book a long time ago when I noticed that some of the people around me, leaders and people who worked for me, also in leadership positions, were failing or not achieving the kind of success that I thought that they could. And I started thinking about it and asking, well, gee, why? What's missing? I noticed very effective leaders promoted into a different position or moved to a different facility who failed. We see this often in sports where coaches are moved around and they do terrible in one place, they get fired and they move somewhere else and they're a huge success. And the opposite happens as well, just as often. And I started wondering, what's wrong? The person didn't change. What went wrong? And when I came to the conclusion is that there are lots of factors in leadership that's complicated, and there's a balance that needs to be struck in every given situation, in every group that we're leading, and it's different, and it can change. That's the other dynamic about leadership is that, we think we're good and we're in a position and everything's going along very nicely, and then all of a sudden a year later, it's not.
Yeah.
And you wonder, well, gee, what happened? I didn't change. I didn't change my behavior or my style. Well, that's right. And that's actually the problem. You didn't change your style when you needed to.
Exactly. So adaptability is key.
Right.
Being aware of the context is key, your environment, the culture, the surroundings, because
Exactly.
what works with one organization might not work with another. And that's where adaptability comes into play, right?
Absolutely. Culture is a huge part of it, but also the people you're leading and the challenges that you're trying to lead them through. And they can vary. There are some situations where you want to be a collegial type leader, where you have a team who knows how to do their job very well, maybe better than you. Good, leave them alone. Set a direction for them and let them go. And they'll often do way better than you thought or asked. On the other hand, there might be a situation that very urgent, critical, has to happen right now. There's no time for mistakes or failure. In that case, you may have to be a micromanager. Now, that's a bad word, right? You don't want to micromanage. Well, that's true. You don't want to, but there are some situations where you literally have to, in order to get the team to be successful. And as soon as that situation is over and you've achieved that short-term urgent goal, okay, good. It's okay to go back to your normal collegial, style, because that may be the ongoing style that works best for your team. But you need to determine what's the right style at the right time, the right group, the right project, and lead your team to success and don't allow them to fail. I've seen this over and over. It's such a critical point and it's such a simple one. Don't let people fail.
Yeah, absolutely.
That doesn't mean do the job for them. It means support them. Go to them and say, hey, look, you look like you're struggling here. Is there something going on that I need to know or I can help with? Well, yeah, this is happening at home or this is happening with a coworker. Okay, good. Don't take it over. Don't remove the responsibility or the authority from them, but you can certainly support them. And when they're done and they've achieved that goal that they didn't think they could, they will absolutely walk through walls for you.
Exactly.
Over and over again. Turn a dog or a person who's failing And in fact, I had situations where my boss told me, "You really need to fire this person. They're not going to make it." And I said, "Can I work with them?" "Oh yeah, hey, they're yours. Go ahead, have a good time." And 6 months later, they went from failure to success, and no one was happier than them.
Yeah. It's a symbiotic relationship. You as a leader help your workers as your workforce and task force help you. I mean, if you think of like Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, they both need each other, right? I mean, you're not
Absolutely.
going to be the greatest of all time without a GOAT coach as well.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I've heard that so many times. We don't need leaders anymore. Millennials, especially, don't like to be led. And I go, well, in that case, you're mistaking leadership for management. They're
Hmm.
two different things. They're both very important, both critical. Management is focused on execution. Leadership is focused on direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Without
And that's an
leadership,
important distinction.
it's huge.
Yeah.
Without good leadership, management is lost.
What would you say are the top three qualities of an effective leader?
Well, that kind of depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, but for the most part, it's being adaptable, but not overly flexible. Because see, what I talk about in the book is that there's a continuum. So on a factor like flexibility, okay, ranges all the way from wishy-washy, changes all the time, to all the other way on the scale is very rigid, never changes, doesn't listen to anybody.
Right.
Well, they're both wrong in most cases. The right answer is somewhere in the middle. But that changes depending on the situation. In some cases, you want to be more flexible. Other cases, you want to be a little more rigid. Same with strength. Some cases, you want to be a strong leader. Other cases, sounds like it's bad to be a weak leader. Well, no, it's not actually. In some cases, if your team is very good at what they do, they don't need you to be showing them what to do or telling them what to do. You need to get your hands out.
Right.
So, so I tell people, keep your nose in, but your hands out.
Right.
So you want to
Exactly.
know what's going on. You want to be aware. You want to be involved, but keep your hands out of it. Let them do it.
Is a collegial leader doomed to fail eventually in that after a while, the workers feel that they know more or can do better without them?
Actually, that's a good situation to be in.
Yeah.
Uh, you want your and there's where leaders who are lacking self-confidence sometimes struggle with that
Mm.
because they get jealous or they're of workers or a group that knows more than them. That's backwards.
Yeah.
You want that to be the case. And you need to be confident enough in your own skills and abilities and recognize your contribution is not necessarily to replace theirs, it's to supplement and it's to provide direction, vision, mission, goals. That's what the leader does. Uh, and they don't have to even do all that by themselves. They should do that with the input of their team.
Yeah.
And if you can get a team of people to agree on a vision, no matter how much of a stretch it is, they're going to go for it. And then you support them when you see, things not going as well as they should, or your timeline slipping or budget slipping. Okay, get involved, ask what's going on, and help. Don't do, but help.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
at the last minute, I mean, if you have to help, then go ahead and help.
Right.
But if you can avoid that at all costs, you do.
George Bush, W. Bush, the younger Bush, said one time, and I thought it was very true. He said, A's pick A's and B's pick C's and D's
Yeah,
to be part of the team.
yeah,
I'd assume you agree with that.
I agree with it entirely. I've seen so many leaders who are afraid of their people, afraid or jealous of their people. That's really bad, really bad. You want to do everything you can to develop your people. A's, B's, or C's, it doesn't matter. Turn your C's into B's and A's,
Yeah.
and keep your A's to be A pluses. And don't be afraid of them. Support them, push, give them goals, give them stretch goals, help them be successful. Uh, when the teams, everyone thinks that we work for money, and of course, money is important. I need
Right.
money too. Okay, but the bottom line is we go to work every day for success.
Yeah.
Money is only motivating for a short time. This has been shown over and over and again. People want to be successful. No one wants to be in a losing team. Everyone wants to win. Well,
Right.
if you can help your people win, and take on those stretch goals and succeed, oh God,
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
Exactly.
Exhilarating,
Exactly.
not only to the leader but to the people in the team as well. And everyone outside the team is looking at it going, what's going on? What are you guys drinking?
Exactly. Well, it's a winning recipe. It's a winning formula. It's a great cocktail to have success. And nowhere is that clearer than in sports, where at the end of the day, there is a definitive winner and loser. But even in business, at the end of the day, there's a definitive winner and loser. Either Toyota selling more cars or Ford or Honda or whatever it is. And the leaders make the difference. Let me ask you this. Tell us a little bit about your professional background.
Well, I started out as a chemist, got involved in the food industry,
Mhm.
and then worked up through the ranks, various levels of supervisory management, eventually a director, and then finally a VP for the last number of years, with global responsibility for food safety and quality in a $15 billion company. They're bigger than that now. But I had to work with a lot of people in many countries around the world. At that time, we were operating in 23 countries. I got to visit most of them. That was great experience. And I got to see different styles. And you would think that leadership would be different in Argentina versus China versus, Hazleton, Pennsylvania. And the answer is no,
Yeah.
it's not.
Leadership is leadership, plain and
It's the
simple.
same exact stuff. The same recipe works everywhere.
Awesome.
The key is for the leader to provide a vision. So
Mm.
when you're new to a position as a new leader, when you walk in, the first task is identify what is the vision. What are we going to do in the next 3 years? How is this place going to be different? How are you going to be different?
Mm.
We're going to do different. So in 3 years, we've achieved something. And then when that's done, of course, don't wait and start it again. Do another one
Exactly.
and keep it going. And then you break that vision down into strategy and goals and get people excited about it. And the key is with the vision, though, is it aligns people. So
Mm.
they're all aligned in the same direction to achieve the same vision, the same goal. Well, if the mechanics are working, using their skills to achieve the goal, and the operations guys are working to achieve the goal using their skills, and the bookkeeper and the accountant and the computer guys, and everyone is working. Everyone knows what the vision is. Everyone is using their skills and their abilities to help get there. Conflict is greatly reduced because now they know what to do, and they don't have to come to you as the boss and say, hey, how should I do this? I used to my favorite question when they came to me and said, well, gee, should we spend money? Should I do this? Should I buy this equipment? Whatever. I'd say, does it support the vision?
Right.
And they would stop and think and go, either yes or no. And if I said yes, then go do it. And if it's no, then I'm sorry. It's a great idea, but don't do it.
Yeah. All great advice across the board. It's an inspiring book. It's a pep talk. It'll get you motivated to get your company working right, whether you're an employee, an employer, a manager, middle management, CEO, whatever it is. And even in life, to be a great leader at home, in your business, in your professional life. These concepts are universal, found in Leonard Heflich's book. It is called Balanced Leadership, a Pragmatic Guide for Leading, and it is highly recommended. Leonard, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Awesome. Thank you, Logan.
I appreciate your time. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.